We're at our Triple Bank Vineyard in Seddon. We're down at the repost site, down towards the Awatiri River, and here with Greg and the repost team.
Tracy is Pernod Ricard's sustainability manager for its New Zealand operation.
In a fast-changing world where the use of resources and circularity is so important, finding solutions for various waste streams is one of the key challenges that we're facing.
This is where repost comes in, because many vineyards, like this one, have stockpiles of damaged wooden posts.
There are times when posts get broken, either by just age or weather events, but also very, very significantly if it's bumped by a tractor or the harvester. Over any given year, you can see up to 4% breakage in some vineyards. And when you look at the size of the industry in Marlborough, that's a lot of posts. We're talking millions of posts out there.
So how did you meet Greg from Repost?
Marlborough's very collaborative. There's a lot of discussions and sharing of information, and we became aware of Repost a couple of years ago and were very interested. We've been stockpiling broken vineyard posts to avoid sending them to landfill. We have an ambition of zero waste to landfill, so we've got some quite large piles of broken posts that have just been waiting for this solution.
Thank you very much, Tracy. Now, Greg, what a journey you're on with this business.
It's been a journey, all right.
Now, you are a farmer.
Yeah, I'm a farmer from St Arnaud. That's Nelson Lakes in Tasman. Probably less of a farmer these days than I'd like to be, but...
What, sheep and beef?
Sheep and beef, yep, 500 hectares.
How did you come up with this idea? What prompted it?
Yeah, I brought those 500 hectares maybe 6 years ago, and had a hell of a lot of fencing to do, and me and the old man have been plucking posts out of Marlborough for quite some time, and I wished that somebody did it for me, as in I could go down to Marlborough and buy posts for $3.25 and I could get them in the ground instead of paying $10 or whatever, but no one was out there doing it, and I got sick of pulling nails and grinding off nails, so I started building a machine, and it just sort of grew from there, and with Stu Dudley, who's a local viticulturalist, and went and seen him and said, you help me out and we'll give this a go together.
So you had a good contact in the viticultural industry, and that helped you connect with people who possibly had posts that were surplus to requirement.
Yeah, like without Stu, there's just no way it would have come together. It's about educating, and I had no idea about vines or grapes or how the industry works. And mate, he got on board and with a bit of passion and managed to sell what we're trying to achieve, and it's just ticking two boxes really, with taking waste but then also selling it to the agri sector and helping them along the way, because that's tough as well.
We've been waiting for this solution to come along for a long time. We knew eventually there would be a solution, which is why we refused to send any of this waste to landfill.
So how does it work? Does the vineyard pay Repost to repurpose and remove the posts, or does Repost buy them from the vineyard?
We pay for the processing of the posts. It is quite cost effective compared to alternatives of landfill, but it's a decent price.
So if it wasn't for the wineries paying, so they pay about 80% of landfill costs, if it wasn't for that, this business would not work. It wouldn't stack up. We've got to be able to sell a product at the end of a low cost, so you've got to hit the market well to get that demand for the processed product, I guess. So that was part of Stu's role, is educating, and then actually most vineyards get it. They know that it's costing me 80% of landfill costs. That's not without the logistics of getting it to landfill. So,
which is a lot as well.
Yeah, it's a hell of a saving for them, and we can bring that through to our end sale price,
So what was the first vineyard that you started repurposing broken posts on?
It was one of Stu's sites up the back blocks of the Awatiri. That was on a Villa Maria site, and then we went from there to a few contract growers, Yealands, Pernod, and there's not one winery or vineyard in Marlborough that we are sort of not involved with now, I don't think. A few contract growers missing, but all the big boys, yeah.
The news spread fairly quickly.
Yeah, but we are 3.5 years in. this last 12 months, my wife's got heavily involved with the business, and she's sort of taken that visibility of the company up. So now we're out there, and I guess we're very proud of what we're doing, so we're being pretty loud at the moment.
And last year you won an award at the Marlborough Environment Awards. Tell me about that.
Yeah. I'm not much of an awards or that type of person, but my wife pushed us into it, and we won the winery section, and it was bloody good. It was a pat in the back. Lots of people there from the industry, and
Good for networking.
oh, it was. People were lining up to talk to you, and you realise that you're onto something and you're doing something good, and people believe in you, which is pretty good, because the first couple of years are pretty bloody lonely.
Was it easy to sell the idea to farmers who want posts for their farm?
Yeah, because they're cheap, and it comes down to dollars. And yeah, definitely the mum and dad type of farmers are all over it. There's nothing wrong with these products. We've had them tested. All the data backs that up. We put a warranty on them as well. Yeah, these are good for 50 years plus.
So how much cheaper are they than if someone was to buy a new post?
It varies a little bit because of what the vineyards were off, because there's a different variant in sizes of posts. But yeah, I'd say about half of the cost.
Now that sound in the background is the repost crew recycling broken posts using machinery fixed onto custom-made trailers. It's quite a mobile setup.
Yeah. So when we first started, we were cruising around with a 3-axle truck trailer with a tractor towing it, and we were loading an infeed with the telehandler. But now we've realised we want to be as mobile and flexible as possible, so we can move to smaller vineyards and like this one. This is a really good site for us, because it's we've got 2 machines running here.
I guess you can get through quite a few posts in one day.
Yeah, some sites we go good. We'll do 1,000 plus a day, and sometimes we might go to a real mongrel of a site and we might be doing 420. Things are pretty tidy around here, but you'll go to some that it looks like it's set up for a bonfire, and you've got to pick through it, and it makes things very slow going. Yeah.
So what are the team actually doing with the posts?
They will pull the nails at it, dock it to whatever length they're going to get at it. It's either a 1.8, 1.6, anything shorter is getting put in another rack, and they'll be grading as they go. Anything that's looking pretty ugly will get turned into battens or make a decision on that, yeah.
The posts here are quite long. They look like they're over 2 metres.
So the posts that get driven for the rows to hold up the canopy, they're 2.4s. So some of them get pulled out. They've got a fracture in them. They come out as one hole, so they're a 2.4 length. But generally they come out at about 1,900, 1,800. Yeah.
Well, shall we head down and see how it's all going?
Yeah, sounds good.
The posts have been stockpiled at the bottom of the vineyard and are covered in weeds.
We've been stockpiling these for a very, very long time.
How many posts do you think we can see in front of us?
I'd hate to guess, but I'd say there's 20,000 perhaps. But what we can see, what we're looking at right now, they've made quite a dint in the pile already.
Yeah, we've probably done about 10 or 15,000 out of here at least. So yeah, we just brought in another crew to push things along.
Yeah, so they're here for a while.
It's a good site. That's what we like. We like staying put, doing some good hours, good solid hours of processing.
Now you've got 5 or 6 people here.
Yep, there's 5 on this side at the moment. We've got a few others floating around doing a few bits and pieces. So we employ, I think, 9 here in Marlborough, and we've also got a crew up north in Hawke's Bay that are doing cyclone work. So we started getting overseas workers, and yeah, we got a really good supply of labour now.
Your staff each have a drop saw, a large drop saw.
Yeah, it's all very simple. We try and run as small. So we're fully mobile. So that means we're running as smaller generators, as smaller hydraulic pumps as we can. That's around just efficiency.
How do you get the nails out? Because they're not using hammers.
Yeah, we'll cruise around here in front of the loader, and we'll have a look at them processing those.
Gosh, there are a lot of nails and hooks and things in the posts, aren't there?
Yeah. So 12 to 14, but can be more. And you'll see that the variant in them. There's plastic clips, there's 6-gauge nails, there's tech screws. It's pretty ugly, but Yeah, a hydraulic press grabs them and pushes the post away, and you're left with hopefully a reasonably clean nail, post. And the mind-blowing thing is we fill up a tote tank of nails in 4 days.
Well, let's stand back a bit because it is quite noisy here. Greg, we're standing in front of some posts that you've repurposed.
Yeah.
Do you know where those are going to yet?
A lot of 1.6s will go to Southland, so I imagine they're heading down Southland way. Yeah, they've all got homes before they even processed. Yeah.
You've got some big end posts here, the full rounds. What do you do with those?
So they're strainers. They come from redevelopment. So you pretty much have about 2 to 3% redevelopment every year. So we've got 40,000 hectares of vineyards in Marlborough. So there's quite a lot of vineyards getting pulled out and put back in, either different varieties or different configurations. So there's about 200,000 sound posts that come out, but the strainers are all covered in wire. So we clip the wires off it, clean them up, and make sure they're tidy and they can go out as well.
Yeah, because those strainers cost a bit, don't they, new?
I think they're about 40 or 50 bucks now, I think, or might even be more plus GST, yeah.
And what do you sell them for?
I think they're about 20 bucks.
Now, you are involved with the Hawke's Bay Silt Recovery Task Force, is that right?
Yeah, so they engaged us to come and help with the CCA treated timber out of their waste stream. So we've been up there for 4 months, processing the damaged orchards and vineyards up there, yeah.
How's that going?
Oh, it's a tough gig up there. It's a mess, really. I forget what the numbers are, but it'd be 500,000 damaged posts there, mixed amongst extende, wire, trees, rubbish, hazardous chemicals, sheds, everything, vehicles, everything. But so it's been pretty tough going. You're dealing with absolutely broken landowners and the like, but all the material we're processing is being donated to the community up there and the farmers up there to recover some of their fencing. But it's a bloody mess, yeah.
Greg Coppell there from Repost at the Triple Bank Vineyard in Marlborough. Cosmo was also talking to Tracy Marshall from Pernod Ricard Winemakers. And you can see some photos of Greg and his team on the Country Life webpage.